You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Those current events talk, trash a little. You never know, opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and in your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn you back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's your girl Tanya with the Hood Table, and we will be reviewing today Sistas Season 2, Episode 12, titled Thinking of You. Make sure you guys like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed, and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, IG Stereo, and also on thehoodtable.com website. And also, if you're free tonight, it's your girl's birthday. Feel free to come back tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. If you subscribe to the channel and you have hit the notification bell, then you will receive notification when we go on live tonight. Again, it's 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you feel like blessing your girl with some birthday love, the Hood Table 402 is my Cash App child. The Hood Table 402. Thank you so very much. And thank you to those who have already sent me some Cash Apps. I've been receiving Cash Apps since yesterday. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But anyway, back to this review. Let's get started on this review. Again, it is Sistas Season 2, Episode 12, and it was titled Thinking of You. So, last episode, we saw how Maurice had got payback with Alonzo. This time around, Maurice didn't have the heels, the stockings, the nails, or the wig in his way. He whooped the crap out of Alonzo. He dog walked him, monkey stomped him. I mean, left the man there for dead. He gave Alonzo exactly what he needed. Might not been what he asked for, but he gave him exactly what he needed. And dog walks his homophobic ass in that parking lot of that bank. But anyway, later that night, panic had set in on Sabrina, who from the bank surveillance cameras thought Maurice might have actually killed Alonzo, which would have been good, but in the eyes of the law, it might not have been good. But then her friend Andy had her own problems at her crib. From the looks of it, it had seemed like Gary, Andy's ex, might have killed her as well. He was restricting her breathing, as we saw when he was hugging and embracing her. He kind of like snapped, zoned out. I don't know where he went, but he zoned out, and then she passed out. So we was under the pressure. Did he kill her? Is she passed out? Is she in a coma? What's wrong with Andy? But anyway, on this episode, it started off with Maurice and Sabrina. Maurice was pacing back and forth at home, fretting over the fact that he might have, in fact, killed Alonzo. Sabrina had called him and told him that she told the police exactly what happened. And Mo was like, why would you go snitch on a bitch like that? Like, you supposed to have my bag. He whooped me. He put me in a coma. He had me in the hospital. You gonna snitch on a bitch? But anyway, by the time that the police were at the front door to question him, at least that's what he had thought. It was actually Sabrina banging on his door, playing with him. She had him really thinking the police was up there trying to knock his door down. Thank God, though, that Alonzo did survive the beating. He was actually so high when he approached Maurice at the bank. So the beating, along with probably him being high, was the reason why he laid passed out on the ground all night, looking as if he might have been dead. But he is alive. He is alive. So hopefully Maurice won't get charged for anything like that. And speaking of passing out, Sabrina eventually passed out drunk in Maurice's bed to wake up to find Calvin standing in the living room with his bags. Now, although Calvin's drug test didn't come back yet, it hasn't came back yet, so Maurice don't know if he's doing anything or not. Maurice allowed him to move in after he showed him them checks. This the first month, this the last month rent. He was like, okay, here's your room. Here's your room. Let me escort you to your room. But Sabrina, she was extremely upset. She's still upset. She's still feeling, she's in her fifis, about seeing him out with another woman the night before. And Calvin, he couldn't handle his business in bed with that other woman that he was out with the night before from having his mind on Sabrina the entire time. So I have a feeling that them two might be getting back together. But moving on to Andy. Last week, after Gary thought he might have killed Andy, he called Karen's boyfriend, Aaron. Aaron and Karen didn't even realize that Andy's ex, knew Aaron. Karen had no idea this. Aaron didn't know that Karen knew Gary, that Andy was the girl, the side piece. None of that information. But thank goodness Andy will be okay from now. She did pass out. And just like, Andy, she made, Andy's always, I don't know. She has a pattern, as the old folks say, a pattern of taking butt whoopings from men and making excuses for them and then sticking around. So again, just like Andy, she made excuses for him. He could have actually killed that girl, but she was like, well, I was cheating with his wife, I probably deserved it. It's karma. Now, granted, he never hit her before, but he has most definitely verbally abused her time and time again. So we know that usually can lead up to the physical abuse. So again, was the wife being honest, y'all? Do you think she was telling the truth every time that she said that he put his hands on her? I don't know. I'm beginning to believe her. But regardless if he did or didn't beat his wife, Andy is not new, like I said before, to domestic violence. Karen was beyond upset that Andy was refusing to call the police on him. Now, remember, back in college, when they was all in college, Andy was in a very abusive relationship and kept making excuses for that man as well. This time, she doesn't want to press charges because of the karma that she thinks she's receiving for sleeping with another man. And all of a sudden, she's also feeling sorry for Gary's wife. Like, why are you feeling sorry for her? I get it. You is sleeping with a married man, but it takes this to happen for you to feel sorry. You wasn't thinking about the wife before. You wasn't thinking about the wife before. But anywho, while Karen was trying to comfort Andy, Aaron heads over to the hospital to see Gary. After leaving Andy at her home passed out, he had left and got into a wreck. He was drunk. He had been drinking and driving. The police were there also waiting, for him to be released from the doctor so they could haul his butt off to jail for the drinking and driving charges. Now, the sound of jail didn't even faze Gary one bit. His only one main concern was to get his money back from Andy, who had earlier stated that she would meet him at the bank first thing in the morning. But that, of course, was before he damn near suffocated her to death. But I guess they still have plans on, meeting at the bank. Now, Danny Preston, Mr. Rodeo, Cowboy, he had mentioned that he doesn't like being called, Mr. Rodeo by Danny, but she's like, I'm sorry. You don't want me to call you white boy, I won't call you white boy, but I'm going to continue Mr. Rodeo. But as far as those two, Danny and her man Preston, it seems like things are going fairly well. They seem to be getting along pretty well. He was up there cooking her breakfast and not only cooked her breakfast, but demanded that she sit down and eat the breakfast before rushing off to work. I really think that he is such a sweetheart. Not only is he sexy and fine, got a body, yaddy yaddy, but I think he is sweet. He's a sweetheart. And the total opposite of Danny, which could be a good thing for her though, because he can kind of like balance her out, like when Whitney Bobby first met, even though she was on drugs. Y'all know what I mean. Bobby was supposedly the bad boy compared to Whitney, and he was bad, but y'all know what I mean. Anywho, he can kind of like balance her out, mellow her out, bring her back down to earth when she's like over the top. But remember at the beginning though, she was trying to be all standoffish with him. She wanted him, but she didn't want him. She wanted to be with him, but she did thought he was too clingy and calling her too much, texting her too much, all this, that, and the third. But after their last little argument over the handcuffs, she's really warming up to him a lot more. And now she also wants to know a little bit more about what he does for a living. She wants to go on a bring your girlfriend to work day. I was like, is she ready for that now, Preston? He might not be a true cowboy, but he is a cowboy. He works in the rodeo and he has a messy job. Danny asked him what did he have planned for the day, and he responded with cows, flies, and manure. She was up there looking at her breakfast like, uh, uh, girl, you can barely eat, and you want to go on a farm and work with him or walk around with him with cows, flies, and manure all around the place. I don't know. I don't think she's ready. And then on top of that, he wasn't even sure. Like, he was kind of taken back, like, huh? You want to go? Okay, all right. You want to go on a ride along with me? Okay, all right. I guess tomorrow works. We can do it tomorrow. I can schedule you in. And then as far as Zach, he shows back up needing a place to stay. Preston was still there. Preston was like, you know what? Handle your business. I'll holler at you later. I gotta go. Danny was not happy to see him. I guess she thought that she had finally got rid of him. He had moved in with Fatima, and she thought, I got my place back to herself. And she needs to have her place to herself. She has a damn studio apartment with her bedroom closed off by like some sliding Chinese uh but I can't remember what you call those things. Chinese dressing room thingy, room divider thingy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody used to have them back in the days. Even when I used to stay in the projects back in the day, everybody had one of them. Like it made their project look cuter or something. I don't know. The rooms of the project was so small that thing just took a more room. Just like in her house, she got him up there, Zach, knowing she don't have enough room for the two of them. But anywho, Preston left. Zach, he needs a place to stay. He's still in love with Karen, but he had moved on to Fatima. But that was more out of he needed a place to sleep, shit, shower, shave, and eat, right? But last episode he had explained to Fatima that it wasn't really working out at her place. Not only is he still in love with Karen, but he needs to also grow up. So used to being enabled, taken care of, catered to, Zach is now trying to be more mature and career minded. And with all of that being said, he still needs a place to stay. Like, I need to grow up. I need to be mature. I need to get can I please come back? Can I please come back? Can I take a shower? He had literally stayed at work all night. Now y'all saw how Fatima had came down to his job. What are you still doing here? Why is you sleeping on the floor with a broom in your hand, boy? You can come back to the crib. Even if he doesn't want to be in a sexually involved, relationship with her, she still offered him a bed, a meal, a snack, and a shower. So she still, did that for him. But he's like, no, no, no. I have to, I gotta focus on what's in front of me, which is this career that he's getting into with the real estate business. So anyway, he headed back over to Danny's apartment where he almost cracks his head. The boy is so tired. He laying back in that chair, and next thing you know, he was out and almost fell over and bust his doggone head. So after that shower, I hope he got a whole day's worth of sleep. But then again, probably not, because he had to be at the airport to work with Danny. So anyway, we're gonna see how this goes with him moving back in with Danny. As far as Karen and Gary though, I'm sorry, as far as Karen and Aaron though. Okay. The next morning, as promised, it was Karen, it was Gary, it was Aaron. Who else? Karen, Gary, Aaron, and Andy. Okay, the next morning, as promised, Andy, she had set out to meet up with Gary with plans to return him his money back. Sabrina, who had already arrived at work at the bank, at the bank, she received a flower from the new employee, Jacoby. This all happened before Andy and them arrived. Jacoby Sellers, that's his name. And he's the new employee who asked her out on a date. But like trying to keep it all, professional, keep their relationship entirely professional. And besides that, I believe that you really should not eat where you shouldn't eat where you should. That's just my belief. That's I always have believed that. I tried it once, and well, I do got a 23-year-old out of it, but you know what I mean. It didn't work out too well. But anyway, so trying to keep their relationship on a professional level, she declined his offer. Maurice, who witnessed the entire thing, still believes that Jacoby is only there trying to replace him. Now, remember, Mo was in the hospital. Maurice was in the hospital for a while, quite some time. He was in a coma. He had been beaten. He was, by Alonzo. He was up in the hospital healing. When he got out the hospital, he was still healing on disability. So they hired Alonzo. Um, but Jacoby, again, he's not only good looking, but he's smart. He catches on pretty fast at the job. So Sabrina says, and therefore Maurice is extremely intimidated by him. I don't know why he thinks he's gonna take his job though, because like I said before, it's only two of them up there at the front desk, like a doggone Walmart. You got all these lanes, and it's just the two of y'all every time the bank is open. But anyway, speaking of Alonzo, what the hell was he thinking coming back to the bank the very next day? Like Sabrina, she threatened to call the police, but Maurice was like, after the first time he got with Maurice, he got at him. He hurt him real bad. The second time Maurice had on his pants. He had on what else did he have on? A suit? Yeah, he had literally just got off of work, so he was dressed, in regular clothes and everything. He wasn't dressed, in the dress, the heels, the nails, the, eyelashes, all that kind of stuff. So he said, "I got this, boo. You ain't got to call the cops. I got this, boo." But Alonzo, he was only there upon recommendation from his lawyer. He came to actually apologize to Maurice for his behavior. In other words, Alonzo didn't want to go to jail for a hate crime and figured Maurice would accept his apology just like that. Like, just like that? Mm-mm-mm. Not only, again, did he put him in the hospital, the boy had broken ribs, he was in a coma. All this on disability when he got out of jail. And then his apology did seem like he was trying to come across sincere, but I really don't believe it. I don't believe that he was sincere, even though, and then he said, I took counseling and I tried anger management. Like, you tried it? Did you finish the class? Y'all probably didn't catch that though. He said, I tried anger management. What else do you want from me? I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked. And even if it did, again, he severely injured Maurice. Shoot, that was a hate crime. He's homophobic. He needs to be locked up. He needs to be taught a lesson. Maurice spanked him real good last time, but no, he needs to be up there in jail doing some time. Do the time, bro. You know how I go. Do the time. You do the crime. You do the time. So go down there, clink, 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 clink. Good thing though, he's big enough, so maybe he can fight off the other guys who might want to, get with him. No pun intended. But to come to find out, also, Alonso and Jacoby, the new employee, knows one another as well. Jacoby did not, however, know that Alonso was the one who had put Maurice in the hospital. Jacoby was surprised to hear that Alonso. He was like, Alonso? I know him from the streets, but if you really know him from the streets, do you really know him from the streets? Because he could not believe that Alonso would do anything like that. Sabrina, she wasn't really sure though of the relationship. Excuse me. She wasn't really sure of the relationship between Alonzo and Jacoby. She was looking at him side eye like, you really don't know him, know him? Like, you sure y'all ain't in cahoots, with something? But for now, She told Jacoby that Alonzo is no longer welcome back into the bank. Then after Alonzo left the bank, that's when Gary and Aaron showed up. Gary was not playing, y'all. He showed up bright and early bank before Andy even showed up. Karen even beat Andy to the bank, confused as to why they were, all there at the same time, and obviously upset with being kept in the dark. Sabrina called Danny for backup, but Maurice, he had me cry. He had me cry. He came up there in the front of the bank. He said, I know drama. I know when girl child, it's about to go down in here because he knows drama when he smell it. He knew something was about to go down in there. But eventually all the sisters, they was all there. All the sisters, they was all there. And they was listening to Andy replay the entire scene between her and Gary on the night before. Basically, he had squeezed her, really tightly. He zoned out on her. He spaced out. He was hugging her. Next minute, he was squeezing her so tight he couldn't even hear her screams that she couldn't breathe. And in the process of doing that, he actually bruised some of her ribs too. And she still blames herself for being with a married man. Still. But screwing a married man or not, Danny, she snatched that money up. She said, F that. After everything he done put you through, like from the beginning to the end, and I'm not even sure if this is the end of them too. But everything that she's been through, she was like, you should keep this money. It's like $250,000. Keep that money for pain and suffering. Now, all but $3,000. All but minus $3,000. Andy did give the money back to him. But what about his apology to Andy? Did y'all really think he was being sincere? Like, I kind of felt it was really heartfelt. I really do think he really loves her and that he really does. He's really sorry about what he did, but I think Gary needs help. I think he needs help. And if his wife is right that he was beating on her too, and we know he's aggressive, we know that he's controlling. So if he's also, prone to beating on women, I think he should get some help. And who knows what'll happen in the future between them two. But right now, yeah, I don't think they should be together right now. So he did apologize to Andy. She started crying and whatnot. Danny, though, she didn't want to hear that either. First, she was talking about keep the money. This is for pain and suffering. Then she told his, but you better get your Ike Turner butt on out of here. That's all Ike ever did with Tina. He would beat her, apologize, beat her, apologize, and make sure she was shopping and getting everything she wanted, all that at the same time. But yeah, she was like, if you don't get your Ike Turner ass up out of here, Negro. But anyway, do y'all think that it's over for Andy and Gary? Let me know, y'all. Let me know how y'all feel about them too. And let me know if you think it's maybe more to the eye, more to meets the eye between Alonzo and the new employee at the bank, Jacoby. Let me know, y'all. And don't forget, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live. And if you are free tonight at 8 o'clock p.m., I will be live again right here on the Hood Table, celebrating my birthday with you guys. So in the meantime, in between time, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant, keep it hood.